Shalom. Allah Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone for bringing out this truth. I'm going to say Shalom to the hopeful elect out there, including the 144,000 out there preaching this truth in all sincerity, and the rest of the elect out there listening and learning and obeying. This is your brother Darash Amath, and I'm back with another lesson. I'll call this one Prophecy is Speaking. We're starting off with Habakkuk, the second chapter. Verse 1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. As a watchman, that's what a watchman does. He watches to see what's coming. He's watching for danger, he's watching for destruction, and he is warning the people. That's what the watchman does. I will watch to see what he will say unto me. Okay? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai gives a message to his men, the prophets. He reveals his secrets to his servants, the prophets. Okay? And what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So write the vision, write the prophecy. Tell the people what's going to happen and make it easier for them to understand. And even with that, Jake is so hard-headed, they still gonna resist. Okay? Just like they resisted the Holy Spirit back then, they still resisting it now. Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Okay? So all these prophets have been prophesying since the beginning. Prophesying the inspired word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, writing it down for us in this day. And some of us are those prophets. This is the appointed time. Okay? But at the end, it shall speak. So this is the end of days. Right here. And the vision is speaking. We're seeing the prophecies jump off the page. They hopping off the page. They kicking you in the face. That's how hard they hopping off the page. People still can't see it. And not lie, though it tarry. Oh yeah, it didn't come all quickly and stuff. No, it tarried. It tarried a little. Wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So when it start happening, it's on. And you know the time is at hand that he spoke of. Okay? You know that Yahweh Shem Yahushai is visiting this earth. Because you see the prophecies happen. You see the prophecies speak. You see the things coming to pass. Okay? You see uproars of the people. You see it happening. You see it on these campuses. You see it in the streets. You see it on these bridges that people blocking up. You see it. You even see it online where people are just distressed and they're upset about how the world is going. Okay? You see it. It's happening. All right? You see the wars. You hear about the rumors of wars. Okay? You see it. And now, we're getting to the point where we're getting closer and closer to the famine of the word. You see it. You see it inching that way. And you see who is bringing it to fruition. None other than the devil himself, Esau Edom. Let's get some precepts. Let's go to Matthew chapter 16, verse 1 through 5. And it says, the Pharisees, also with the Sadducees, came and tempting, desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, when is it evening? Ye say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but ye cannot discern the signs of the times? So you can't tell the times of the signs of the times. And a lot of people can. People want Babylon to go on like it is, Like, what's up with you guys? Like, Jake, why are you clinging on to Babylon? You haven't had anything good in Babylon. Nothing. Your entire history has been horrible in Babylon after Esau Edom arrived. So what you holding on for? What's up with the Stockholm Syndrome? Let it go. It's time to cleave on to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. It's high time to wake up out of sleep. It's time to leave them churches. Like the brothers say, get your simple asses out of them goddamn churches. That's one of the most destructive things that has happened to the nation of Israel. The Christian church. It's time to wake up, Jake. You're an Israelite. You so-called Native Americans, Mexicans, so-called even the South Americans that are coming up here, you can understand English in this message. Maybe this is for you and you can receive it. It's time to wake up. So-called Caribbean Islanders, you are children of the Most High. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Even the scattered elect around the world that may look like the other nations. Because this ain't about no skin color. You could be pale. You could look purple. You could be that dark. If you're the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you're a Jake. And you're a child of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. So it's high time to wake up out of sleep. Verse 4. A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign. That's talking about us. This is a very wicked generation, very adulterous generation. Yes, he was talking about them back then too, but still, it's worse now. And there shall no sign be given unto it. Okay? Because you need faith. Faith is a gift, so everybody ain't got that faith. Some people they don't have it. They need to see. They need to see, they need to feel, they need to taste it to believe it. They just don't have it in them. It wasn't given to them. But the sign of the prophet Jonas, and he left them and departed. Now, when they say the sign of the prophet Jonas, remember, New Testament is written in Greek, so the translation is a little different from the Old Testament. So Jonas is talking about Jonah. And what happened with Jonah? He was swallowed in the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights. And that's the sign. When was that sign come to fruition? When Yahushua went to the grave and he rose. That was the sign. All right. Now, let's get another precept. Let's go to 2 Peter, 3rd chapter, down to the 3rd verse. And it says, know this, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust. So it's the last days. We're supposed to be discerning the signs of the times. We're supposed to be watching for these prophecies to come true because it's speaking now. The prophecies are finally speaking. They're jumping off the pages. But Jake out here scoffing with the heathens, walking after their own lust, instead of trying to follow the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And no, I'm not claiming I'm holier than thou because I sin all the time. I'm not perfect. And saying, where is the promise of his coming? Because Jake really don't believe Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua coming back. And it's sad. For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. And trust me, if you preaching this truth, you gonna hear people say, man, people have been saying that forever. Like my grandma used to say that, my daddy used to say that, my great grandma used to say that. Man, ain't none of their great grandma, daddy, or none of them was talking about Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. They was talking about their idol Jesus. That's what they was talking about. Because they was caught up in them churches. And I'm going to say it again. Get your simple asses out of them churches. Because it's not for you, Jake. It's not for you. Now, let's go to the book of Amos. Chapter 8, verse 11. And it says, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, power, that I will send a famine in the land. Not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. And what does that mean? That means the prophets ain't going to be preaching this message. The true meaning Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So it's time for you to get this truth. It's high time to wake up out of sleep. Because it won't always be available. Once the elect are sealed, that's a wrap. If you ain't got this knowledge, it's a wrap. You are not exempt from judgment. You about to get this work. Verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. And what does it say? Verse 13. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. And what does this sound like? The parable of the 10 virgins. Okay? There were 5 wise and 5 foolish. They all fell asleep. And then they woke up. The 5 foolish didn't have no oil. What did the wise tell them? Go to them who sell. Okay? That's the famine of the word. They ran out. They didn't have no more oil. And there was no... They went and then they came back and it was too late. So you need to have this oil in you now. Before the famine of the word come. Because you're going to get locked out. And you're going to have to face judgment with the heathen. The punishment that's supposed to happen to Babylon the Great is meant for the heathen. Okay? It's supposed to come on the people of his curse. Who are those people? The Edomites. Not you, Jake. But you go get punished with them. Because you don't want to listen. All right, now let's go back to Habakkuk, chapter 2. Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So whose soul is not upright in him? Esau, Edom. He is the wicked. The wicked go astray from birth, telling lies. That's all they do. They are physicians of no value. That's all they do. They can't do right. They just can't. Now, verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgressed by wine, his wicked doctrine. He is a proud man. That's Esau, Edom for you, proud. He exalted himself as a god. He tried to put his throne above the Most High. He covered the face of the judges thereof. He opened the book of the law to paint the likeness of his image in it. That's a proud man. Neither keepeth at home, always in somebody else's land, always across the world. He don't even live in his own land. Mount Seir, he just left that. He wanted everybody else's land. Who enlarged his desire as hell? He ain't never satisfied with what he got. Got trillions, billions of dollars, still trying to rob from the poor, want it all? Want to even own the people? Want to put a C-hip in them and make them like cattle? But gathereth unto him all nations. Let's form a melting pot. Yeah, let's all be one people, but I'm going to be at the top and the rules going to benefit me. What? And heap unto him all peoples. That's Esau, Edom. If not, then who is it? Let's get this video. What did it say? Did the House of Representatives just make parts of the Bible illegal? What Tucker Carlson says? Yes, the New Testament.
6090. The Anti-Semitism Awareness Act. 320-91. I told you. Free speech is at risk. Christianity is at risk. They're coming for your freedom and values. They're attempting to pass a federal...
We know modern Christianity is a false doctrine. So, you got to pick the meat from the bone, but they is passing this bill. These Amalekites, they behind everything. They always is behind everything. They don't want the truth to come out, so they're trying to hush it. But as soon as they do, they go trigger the end of days. They go trigger the day of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay? Because they got their role of fulfilling prophecy too. So not just the many Yahweh Bashim Yahushai got to be out there preaching. Esau Edom, the left hand, he got his job to do too. He go come down with great wrath. Okay? Then Michael, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai go step in for his elect.
Making it illegal to criticize
be
Israel
all said and done.
utilizing the definition of anti-Semitism by a group called the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. Who is this group? Long story short, it's not American. Why are non-American organizations defining our words and laws? Under this new bill, the federal government can sue, prosecute, or sanction more people, businesses, and universities for supposed violations of civil rights.
So, why does another country have so much pull in a country to form laws about talking about another country? Like, you could talk about Alabama and how they like, to marry their sisters and whatnot. You could talk about how, Idaho, all they know how to do is grow potatoes and they ain't got no flavor in their food. You could talk about Florida is just where people go to get sun cancer. And if you see a story start with Florida man, you already know what's happening. But you can't talk about a country all the way on the other side of the world. You can't criticize them. How could they have so much pull in another country? Who's running the show? So, what happened to the freedom of speech in this country? What happened to the freedom of religion? What's going on here? Is prophecy starting to come to pass? Is the vision starting to speak? Can you see it now? Do you have eyes to see and ears to hear?
Or hate at all. But I do know that freedom of speech is at risk. And freedom of speech means that we need to live with words or ideas we don't agree with. Here are a list of things that would be considered illegal if this bill passes the Senate and gets.
They love that anti-word. The correct term is Shem, not Sem. There were several nations that descended from Shem, not just one. So how they just go coin this term? It don't make sense.
Signed into law. Saying Ben Shapiro loves Israel more than America. Illegal. Saying Jewish people are responsible for the crucifixion of Jesus. Illegal. Saying Jewish people control the media economy and government. Illegal. Saying October 7th was an inside job. Illegal. Being a Holocaust denier, of course, illegal. Saying George Soros is trying to create chaos and usher in a new world order. Illegal. You may or may not agree with any of these statements. That's not the point. The issues, opinions, and beliefs are yours and yours alone. You are allowed to hold them regardless of what the government tells you to believe. Free speech is the cornerstone of our society. First they take your words, then they...
So what my understanding is, all of these so-called rights you so-called Americans think you have, they about to get taken away. Your so-called government been breaking your laws, their own laws, for forever. They're looking for that loophole
take your
to
ideas
take
and
them
ability
away.
to communicate.
They will.
Next, we're nothing but slaves serving their dystopian oligarchy.
Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me in a voice so sweet, I thought I heard the shuffle of the angels' feet. He called my name and my heart stood still when he said, John, go do my will. Go and tell that long-tongued liar, go and tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell him God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, sooner or later, run on.
All right. This part is totally wrong. He said, for even the very elect will be deceived. No. The elect will not be deceived, and it does not say that in the scripture. It does not say that. When people say this, they be reading translations that go off. You look in the King James Version, it does not say anywhere that the elect will be deceived. It says, if it were possible, even the very elect will be deceived. But it's not possible, because the elect was sealed from the very beginning. Okay? They twist in scriptures. So Salakia for that. I don't know what these people are thinking, but you get the point. They trying to push it to make telling the truth about the scriptures illegal. And we already know the Christians don't even know the truth about the scriptures, so I don't know what they worry for. All they do is lies and make up their own doctrine anyway. All right, let's get back to the scriptures. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 26, in verse 11. And it says, Yahweh,